Every June in Powell River, British Columbia, Canada, on the ancestral lands of the Tla'amin Nation, people gather from all over the world for the Prisma Festival. Join us as we bring you a taste of the music, conversation and celebration for which this event has become known. We do look forward to welcoming you back to the concert hall someday. But until then, this is Prisma on the Couch.
Good afternoon. My name is Cindy Pellin. My ancestral name is Chene. I'm from Tla'amin. It's been a great experience to be able to participate in Prisma along with Arthur Arnold and our Tla'amin people. Last year we did the song Hegus, which means going forward in our language, which is bridging relationships, and it's an act of reconciliation and understanding how we've been impacted as a Tla'amin people. It's been a joy for us to participate over the years with Prisma at several different gatherings. And prior to that, we sang with Drew Blaney and the Tla'amin ladies to sing a beautiful song at that time. Ayo-yo-he, ayo-yo-he, ayo-yo-he. So yes, it's been a great experience, and too bad we're dealing with COVID-19 this year, 2020, and it's put a stop to all that we're doing. So we're practicing social distancing and understand that Arthur Arnold and the Prisma board are moving on to Prisma on the Couch for 2020, which is excellent. It's nice to see that we're still be able to do some work in Powell River, Sunshine Coast. It's a beautiful day, and I'm sure we're going to have great times through the summer as a result of the work that's happening right now. Relations. Thank you.
Welcome to this episode of Prisma on the Couch. And tonight is a special night. We have a guest, Clint Williams, Hegus Clint Williams, the chief of the Tla'amin Nation, with whom we have a great relationship. Welcome, Clint.
Chaput.
Thank you. How are you doing in these times?
I'm doing very good. It's an honor and a privilege to be here, joining you on Prisma on the Couch. I really wish we could have had the full event down at Prisma on the beach, which has been a wonderful event over the past few years. With everything that's happening in the world, from COVID to the different protests that are happening across North America, an event like Prisma on the Beach would just be so fitting right now, just to bring people to our beautiful territory, bring everybody together and celebrate culture and of course beautiful music, and just to get together for a beautiful celebration.
Yeah.
That can't happen this year for obvious reasons, so social distancing and everything that we need to do today in this modern world. But otherwise, things are going good.
That's
We're
great.
Trying to return back to normal.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm with you. That would be awesome. And it's great. You mentioned Prisma on the Beach and our long-time cooperation between Tla'amin and Prisma and all our endeavors to sing together, to drum together, put the orchestra under it, and put these things, do this together. It's been wonderful. But also, your financial support for Prisma has been enormous and is highly appreciated. I want to use this moment to thank you for that too.
No, and it's a wonderful event to support. When you see the diversity of the crowd down at Prisma on the Beach, and of course in the overall larger event, it's amazing to see people from different countries and cultures, ethnicities, coming together to make beautiful music together. So it's an initiative that really celebrates a lot of what's good in the world.
I agree. It's for me, it's beautiful that all these cultures come together, and that too often we look on the differences, the small differences we have as human beings, but really we have so much more in common. And in the light of reconciliation and what we are actively doing, this is what we need to do, right? Celebrate together, enjoy each other, appreciate each other.
Definitely. I think our differences make us who we are as individuals. Everybody in this world is an individual. Nobody, it's not a big giant cookie cutter, but you know, those differences make us who we are, and they create many different angles on many different topics, and we need to celebrate that and encourage those differences and those individual voices. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
It's really like an orchestra. Imagine that everybody played the same instrument in the orchestra. That would be not a lot of color, right?
No,
we
not
need
at all.
all these colors to, yeah, that makes it beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, talking about that and the orchestra, last year at Prisma on the Beach, we have performed together the Hegus song. Do you want to say a few words about Hegus?
Yeah, the Hegus has been a wonderful group that's been created here in the Tla'amin traditional territory with all of our brothers, sisters, our JJ in our language, getting together to find similar type initiatives with the goal of reconciliation and kind of building upon the positives and moving forward and building each other up instead of tearing each other down. I think the Hegus group has done that wonderfully in this area, and too often we get focused on negative pieces in the world, and this group has a focus of focusing on the positives and working together, and I really respect and appreciate that, and it makes me proud to be from Tla'amin Nation and knowing the initiatives that are happening around this great community within the Tla'amin traditional territory.
And it makes me proud, Clint, to be part of that with our culture and orchestra and to join that together. We've done it now for quite a few years, and it's been always a very special moment for me to make music together and to share this. So let's listen to Hegus song, especially composed for the people, right, all around the world, to sing it. As Phil says, it's your song, it's our song, it's from all of us. Music is free, and we are free. And let's enjoy Hegus song.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cindy Pallon. My ancestor name is Jeanette. I'm very happy to be here tonight. It's an honor and a privilege to share the song Hegus with you. And it's through Arthur Arnold of Prisma that we're welcomed here to present on behalf of the Tla'amin community on act of reconciliation. We've been working towards reconciliation since 2013 when we put on a big event in our community. And from that point forward, we decided that the work that we're going to do moving forward was to educate ourselves along with the non-Native community on the acts of reconciliation, what that means. So tonight is a perfect example of a multicultural gathering and sharing through music with everybody that traveled here from all over the world. And it's very, very, very happy to see you and that we're sharing this time together. It's a worldview, and I've always appreciated music and what it has to offer us. It's music is healing, and it provides us the opportunity to share our culture with you. And I'm going to turn it over to Phil.
Thank you, Cindy. Me and Cindy worked together since 2013. We worked together on the Hegus and Reconciliation Canoe. We've been working on reconciliation projects quite a lot. And the song that we are going to be singing here tonight is actually for you to sing. This song actually belongs to the non-Indigenous community. And it was composed by Cindy, Drew Blaney, and Kusun Piel with the intention to connect with the Indigenous community here in their language. And so you can sing this song wherever you are, whenever you want, anywhere in the world. It belongs to you. So enjoy.
And they can join in, right?
Absolutely, if you know the words. Actually, you can join in anywhere you want to jump in.
Just join us.
Just join in.
Have fun together.
I'll pass it over to Arthur.
I'll pass it on to the orchestra. Guys, do you need a quick aid? Or shall we tune out? I think you'll be fine.
Well, that was great to have Clint Williams here, and now we have Andy Rice back, our publicity manager. Welcome back on the couch, Andy.
Thank you. Nice to be back here.
So you were hosting a master class with the percussion students, the timpani students in Bill Linwood, right?
Yeah, and it was quite interesting. He was talking about this technique where it's like you're pulling a punch. It almost looked like a self-defense course by the end. It was pretty interesting.
Oh, really?
Should we check it out?
Oh, I want to see it.
All right.
Stroke. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I'll do it here. Then I'll show you what I'm trying to get. So a basic stroke, and then what you do is you can add a bit of that kind of lift to it. So same stroke, and it's sort of vulgar, but then I'll put it on the bottom. So it goes from here to here. So yeah, you really start to notice it, and it's and I can't remember who told me this, but it's like pulling your punch, if you can imagine, right? And then come in and come back a couple of inches, like, right? And that's let's just try that once, and you'll see what I mean. So instead of just a whack, and don't hurt your hands, guys. If you have rings, take them off, okay? And come in, and then bring it back, like so. Hit and bring it right back a couple of inches. Yes, only a couple though. Yeah, exactly. Good. Very good. Excellent. That kind of, okay, that pulling the punch works beautifully on instruments like bass drum. Believe it or not, crash cymbals can be cool. It's got to be really relaxed, like everything, right? But that kind of emotion is what I'm talking about too. So it's another way to kind of physically get an idea around it. Where was I going with it? I wanted to tell you all these things that I'm flashing up on the screen eventually, I'll send you. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, today's mostly just to get you some ideas how to waste the rest of your summer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Everybody got their punches practiced there, hopefully, at home?
Wow, that was exciting to
Yeah.
see. I never knew that there's so much detail to the sound of percussion.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, a lot of subtlety. And I mean, Zoom doesn't do it any favors. You can hear a lot more when you're in the room next to the drum, I'm sure. But it still comes across. There's a lot of degrees of difference in just changing up a mallet or changing up a technique or anything like that. So
Yeah, you can really hear the different colors.
yeah.
Anyway, we should move on to the next piece.
Yeah, which is kind of punchy, actually, fittingly.
It's absolutely punching, and it is Bernstein Overture Candide, 2015 orchestra. It was warm in the hall. It was so hot here on stage. So the students played in their shirts. Enjoy it.
So we're going to head back to the percussion masterclass with Bill Linwood from the Victoria Symphony. It was such an interesting one. It was super cool. I was actually moderating it over Zoom, so I got a front row seat, and I had to give Arthur a little heads up. Bill has some comments about conductors and the dynamic of maybe a conductor wanting you to use certain tools for the job that you might have your own ideas about. Is that a thing? Do
you think I can watch it, or should I just quickly leave?
Well, we might need to. You might need to come and offer a rebuttal or something after, maybe.
I guess we conductors have a tendency to tell timpanists what kind of mallet to use to get the sound the way we envision
you hear it, which might not necessarily be how the timpanist hears it. Anyway,
but
Bill
they're
sorts
good
it out.
guys. They will forgive us, right?
Yeah. So he runs the students through a few self-defense mechanisms against getting frustrated when that happens. Let's check it out.
I'll wrap it up soon. I just want to show you something. So about mallets and about conductors. Just because the conductor wants you to use a hard stick doesn't mean they're a bad person. Okay? This is really important. Okay. This is super important, guys. They're not a bad person. They just want you to use a hard stick. And I have to say, sometimes they're right. Okay? And this is a whole other world about context and how it sounds to you where you are. And then one thing I love about Prisma is we can play on stage, then you can go in the audience and listen. You know what I sound like here. You know what I sound like there. It's really fast because it's a small kind of little hall, maybe could seat maybe 600-700 people maybe, or a little bit more, but it's a smaller kind of hall, but it's more of a multi-purpose. So it's a little dry and you don't have a real major shell. You have a shell, but not like a real professional big concert hall. So in that way, it's not so good for acoustics, but for us, it's phenomenal for acoustics because it's what we do so much of our work at, especially, before you get a big job, right? So it's a great hall to work on. I meant to mention at the very beginning. So about hard sticks, I have literally, and they're not here with me, I've literally got, I think, 4 or 5 pair of wood mallets, different kinds of tapers, different kinds of ends, different shapes. I guess they probably even have more. Okay, so they all respond differently to the head. I don't mind them on calf. I don't like them. I kind of like them wood mallet kind of when the calf head's on the bottom end. Like for example, a G and C in the middle, not a G and C on the bottom, right? So for me, from the way my ears work, I like that. I like pitches on the bottom end of drums, even in places that you would never do it a lot of the time, because I like the impact without the resonance, or I like the resonance stand quickly. But that's just personal taste, right? So what I'll do with conductors, if they want harder sticks in wood or what have you, or even these kind of things, a collection of like typical hard sticks like this, I will just always say the same thing. I have many different ones. Let's just see which ones you like. right? You know, just be, you know, and then why not actually get along with them? That's kind of a nice approach, right? It's, you know, and well, the reason is everyone gets all wrapped up in that, oh, but I've got to play with my, you know, just to tell me the sounds you want and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's lovely. But, you know, let's cut to the chase. The guy wants a more articulate, or girl wants a more articulate, harder sound. Fine. Here are a whole bunch of choices. The thing is, with a hard mallet, you've got the opportunity. So instead of tightening up your grip, or you can actually, you've got the opportunity to come up with a whole array of different cool sounds. Now, for example, these are hard flannel. I could go to a slightly harder flannel that introduces some leather. Okay, different kind of sound, a little pudgier, but it's still got a nice kiss at the front end. I could go to like a leather. Okay, different, doesn't have the kind of same pitch focus like in my room, but not bad. Or I could go to a microfiber, like a left microfiber. I'm guessing where you are, that was the brightest of the batch, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but they're all appropriate. Like that on a tight drum, even where there might sound a little bit too tight, too bright, right? But then, you know, if I brought it, change my pitch assignments and that, they could be the perfect mallet. So that's my point is, don't get bogged down with that kind of stuff.
We have some amazing guest artists at Prisma. You know, the caliber of the people that want to come here to teach and to play on this stage in chamber music settings is amazing. We have concert masters from like Martin Chalifour from LA Phil was here, Richard Roberts from Orchestral Symphonique de Montreal, but also the principal violist from Berlin Phil, Matthäus Schutz, and the principal violist from the Concertgebouw Orchestra, Michael Gieler. We have some great musicians, and think about Brian Yoon, the principal cellist of Victoria. What a fantastic cellist he is.
We have amazing musicians right in our own backyard too, right in BC.
Absolutely. That to me is very special, that these experienced musicians are interested in coming here, sharing their passion, with the students and with our audience.
And you actually got the opportunity recently to talk with Richard Roberts, who's you mentioned with the Montreal Symphony. And he's been there a long, long time, hasn't he?
Yeah. We had a great chat. After the master class, we stayed on and started talking. And he told me about his being a concert master for the Montreal Symphony. Let's have a look at that. Dick, you have been the concert master of... oh, I'm probably muted. No, I'm not muted.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Concert master of the Montreal Symphony for how long?
38 years.
38 years. That's an incredible amount of time. How do you deal with the pressure week in, week out that is on you as concert master to keep everybody together, forget about those conductors, I can say that, and
I can say it too.
You can say it too. And then orchestra solo playing is so difficult. From being tutti, all of a sudden you're out there. You're not prepared like a soloist. You know, this is so incredibly difficult. How do you deal with it? How do you deal with the pressure? How have you done it? 38 years.
Yeah, well, I think it's in preparation. Those things that I just answered Michael's question about, is that you have to prepare for that. All of those things involve preparation. Like when I have to find this D sharp that I was telling you about for the Sinfonia Domestica of Strauss. This takes preparation. You have to plan ahead for this. And more as I get older, things are harder. I can still get there, but I have to work much harder than when I was 25 years old. And so it's in the preparation. It's all in the preparation. So playing orchestral solos is difficult because it comes out of nowhere. You're playing, scrubbing away, playing a big Ein Heldenleben, and all of a sudden you have to be sweet. So this takes practice. Fortunately, you get rehearsals to practice, to try out the things you want to try out. And by the time the concert comes, you should be okay. I had one bad experience though. We were doing a Brandenburg concerto, and I was in the Toronto Symphony at that time, and the concertmaster left. He got sick, and he said, "You take over." So I had to play a Brandenburg concerto, solo violin, and I was shell-shocked. I tell you, I was really, what? You're leaving? And I have to do this? Whoa, wait a minute. So, but that's when the preparation comes in. If I had prepared the solo part, you know, even though you're not playing it, you prepare everything, absolutely everything. So I think that's the key. And when you do orchestral solos, you have to prepare for any eventuality. Sometimes it's out of your control. We did Scheherazade my first year with the orchestra, and we have big opening tutti, and then this note, yes, with the harp, but just a fraction of a second before that, my E string went, it didn't come completely loose. It went down to C sharp, and what? So I had to transpose for a few notes, and that solo was mercifully over, and then I could tune the violin up again. But that just killed me. And after the first movement, the conductor looks at me and he said, "Dick, are you all right?" So he didn't realize what had happened. So I was mortified, really. So anyway, it's all preparation, really, even for those things, orchestral solos.
Well, that was interesting. It's all in the preparation. And to hear that from such an experienced musician, for the students, that's so amazing, you know?
Yeah.
Because preparing is not always easy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how far you are in your career, the preparation, you still prepare, right?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah.
Well, let's listen to Richard.
Okay.
Together with the concertmaster of the LA Philharmonic, Martin Chalifour, and two Prisma students, we are going to listen to the Vivaldi Concerto for 4 violins and cello. And on cello is our guest artist, Igor Jachkov.
So if you've joined us before at Prisma for a couple years in a row and you're sitting here in the Evergreen Theater in the audience and you're looking up at the stage and you're thinking, a person looks really familiar, you're probably not wrong. We get quite a few returning students.
Yes, and Catherine Howe is one of them, a flute player. She currently studies in Helsinki, also last year when she was here. She was here in 18 and 19. And she was the first flute in the Mahler, I remember. I still, you know, as a conductor, you are very focused on the four first woodwind players, oboe and flute, and clarinet and bassoon, the first voices there. And they sit in a quartet, and that's really kind of the pillar of the orchestra there, and then you have your brass in those sides. So Catherine, I had a nice chat with her about how she's doing and how she experienced Prisma. So let's watch Catherine.
Hello.
Hi, Catherine. How are you?
I'm good. How's it going?
Wonderful. How great to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you.
It's like a year, almost.
Yeah, it's been a year.
Yeah.
You're in Powell River?
I'm in Powell River. Where are you?
I'm still in Helsinki.
So how have you been since Prisma? You have been more than once at Prisma, right?
Yeah, I went twice, actually. Yeah. Yeah, my first year there was so great. I learned so much and I really liked the faculty there. Janet was like super amazing. Actually, after the second time I went, I stayed with her in New York because I was getting a piccolo and she helped me pick out a piccolo, which was like super nice. And I was just so happy. Yeah, so Janet, she was super amazing. And I made so many good friends there. I saw Alec actually twice now.
Alec Holman.
Yeah.
The oboist.
Yeah, I had an audition in, was it January or February, I think? And then I went to London and visited him, and I had a layover there too once, so he came and saw me, and yeah.
The extended Prisma family.
Yeah, we still have our group chat from both years.
That's so wonderful. Yeah, the Who twins, right?
Yes, the Hoodwins, exactly.
That's great. So Kathy, you said you did an audition there in London. What did you audition for, and what other auditions did you do, and how did Prisma possibly help you in that process?
I did the Schleswig-Holstein audition in London, which is just a summer festival, but they didn't have any live auditions in Finland, so I traveled to London to do it. I think the whole Prisma experience made me more confident with auditions. Janet is super amazing at this audition training. And I felt more prepared when I did auditions after Prisma and just a bit calmer. Yeah, I think I just gained a lot of confidence with the whole process and experience, and our audition trainings were super useful. But yeah, I've been doing some auditions around Finland mostly.
Okay.
Yeah, after my first time in Prisma, I took an audition in Finland and I passed the first round. And I remember just feeling so ecstatic because that hadn't happened before. And actually went to the third round, to the semifinals. So I was super happy. And yeah, I've been sending Janet videos now and then to ask for advice. She's really great like that, still like happy to keep in touch and everything. So
that's
yeah.
so great.
I really valued the Prisma experience because everyone treated us like professionals. You know, it was so intense. We had so much to do. in such a short amount of time. And I remember in rehearsals also, you really just were like, go, 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 like really treating us like professionals. You trusted us, you know? And that was just a great feeling. And to be super exhausted at the end of the day, but know that you accomplished so much during the day, I think that's what I really loved, you know?
How did you enjoy Powell River?
Oh, I loved it. Actually, a big part of the reason why I came back was also just the environment, because it was like stunning, like paradise. And just, you know, getting time off from rehearsal and being able to go explore was really fun. And everyone was just so nice. I remember people in cars would stop and say, thank you for the concert. And, you know, it's just such a good community. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
But thanks so much for contacting me and talking to me.
Yeah,
it's
nice. Wonderful to see you. Stay in touch.
Stay in touch.
And all the best.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
What is your favorite couch?
My favorite couch? That's a
Where is it?
I don't know. You know what? At my school, they just shut down this building last year because it was super old. But there was this really, really old couch, like really old and dirty, and it probably had been around for like, I don't know, 50 years or something. But I love sitting on that couch with my friends. Yeah. It was just nice memories, and, you know, it's just cozy. It felt like, you know, a nice place to rest.
Wonderful.
So that was Catherine's favorite couch. These are our favorite couches. We want to hear in the comments what your favorite couch is. But right now we're going to take you to a little video of a Prisma student from a couple of years ago and his favorite parts of the festival.
Exactly. Chance Trotman-Huet, tuba student, 2016.
All right.
I have very much enjoyed being a part of Prisma. I think one of the biggest things for me is being in an environment like this with all of these different musicians and having nature be such an influence. I think that the land here is so beautiful that you can't help but be inspired. Everyone that I've met has been wonderful and greatly contributed to me as a musician. I hope to come back in the future. This has been fantastic so far. For a festival like Prisma to have the huge support that it has from a place that only has 14 or 15,000 residents is a really unique thing. I think it's a really special thing. And for the arts to be such a huge part of the community is really important, I think, and it's fantastic to have that support. The orchestra itself, as far as the music that we've been producing for the first week, is, I would say, of all of the orchestras that I've played in, our performances have been of the highest caliber that I've ever performed with. The music that we perform is not easy. Shostakovich's Fifth Symphony, and this week we're doing Mahler's Fifth Symphony. It's not like we're taking it easy, and there's only been a week so far, and I can't put into words how much I've learned. I think anyone would get a lot out of this festival.
Well, that was nice to hear Chance again. And Chance, I don't know whether you're watching, but it was great to see you again. I still remember you with your big tuba over there in the orchestra.
Well, should we hear the orchestra again? Maybe play something else.
Yeah, it's time for some music. And we're going to listen to Tchaikovsky Variations on the Rococo theme. That is for cello and orchestra. And we played it two times. We played it two times in Prisma 2018, I believe it was, where the part that we will hear is Igor Dyachkov playing it here with the Prisma Festival Orchestra. But we also played it at the beach, during Prisma on the beach. And the interesting part is that there's all these variations in this piece. And variations are you play like a certain piece of music, and then it's played again, but with differences. And it gets more and more different and more difficult, and there's a very slow variation. Well, all of the 8 cellists in the orchestra, we gave one variation to play. And we did it as pass the baton. So a cellist would sit in front of the orchestra, and there was an empty chair. He would start with the orchestra. Cellist from the section came here, started the second variation. This cellist went back in the orchestra. The next cellist came here, etc., etc. And the last variation was for Igor. And I thought that was so much fun. Do you remember it?
Totally
Andy?
fun to watch, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, even if not just for the fancy footwork, just to get in and out of the chairs, then you get the variations building and building and building. It was so cool.
Yeah. And it's a gorgeous piece too, right?
Really beautiful, yeah.
I've conducted quite a few times in my life with different cellists, and it's so chamber music-like. There's so much detail. It's so gorgeous, and there's so much contrast. I just love Tchaikovsky. Let's listen to it.
Great piece.
Yeah. Energy.
So much energy. So we're going to rewind the clock back a little bit further here, I think to 2015.
Correct.
And this was a day when you weren't having the best day that day, were you? This is kind of the dark side of the Prisma vault here we're going to get you into.
Well, I guess, I was tired.
Yeah.
It was the Saturday afternoon concert with the people, the sail to the Symphony concert, where we get hundreds of people that take the ferry, the BC ferry, from Vancouver Island to Powell River to be in this concert hall. And we had a rehearsal in the morning, and I had to run home to get some food and to get changed. But, people started talking, starting asking questions, and I was late, and I was home, and I forgot to iron my shirt. So I'd only iron the front, really.
And you're looking at the clock, like there's minutes till the performance to start.
Honestly,
You're still in.
Honestly, I was late. I was really late. And I just grabbed my stuff and threw it in the car and drove to the complex and to the theater here. And I had literally a few minutes before the concert to get my suit on there, and I put my suit on, and damn it, I'd forgotten my cufflinks. But this was one of those suits that doesn't have the buttons. It was just the opening. But there was nothing I could do. It was like time to get on stage. So I walked on stage and said, I'll find a solution. So
here's the solution.
This is what happened. And this was not planned for. Well, now we can all have a good laugh about it. Before we can start, I have a slight problem. And you have to help me. I hope you can. But I forgot my cufflinks. Anybody who has cufflinks here that I can borrow? No? Oh. Really? I was in such a rush. I'm so sorry, but I rehearsed along with these guys and then had to go home to get changed. I could only iron the front of my shirt. You guys have cufflinks? You can play without it either. How do we do this? Let's try it. I expected an audience with cufflinks. Okay, well, we'll... Do you have a minute? This is hard. Whoa. You think it goes to 4 layers? Oh my goodness. Can you help? Like the tiniest something I've ever seen. And then there's 2 sleeves. This one is way nicer. So, but there's only one. Oh, great. Well, oh my goodness. I promise next year I'll start earlier. That's one, almost. There. Okay. Great. And now we have, fantastic. You got, whose are these? Yours. Do you play without?
Basis.
Can you play without? Can you show us? Play the opening of Tchaikovsky. Well, you. Good. Play. Stand up. Take your mute off.
Oh, great. Thank you. 감사합니다. 감사합니다. We'll start.
Well, that's about it for us for tonight. But thank you so much for watching. It's an honor to be with you, you know, in your home and sharing this with you.
It's been a pleasure. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, and have a good evening.